giddy. Crumbs. Big breath.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, everybody. Can I see, by a raise of hands, if you've ever waited in a long, never-ending female toilet queue? Can I put any hands up? Okay, and can you put your hand up if you've ever waited for anyone else waiting in a long, never-ending female toilet queue? Right, I think that's like most people here, and we can relate to that frustrating problem. So as introduced very wonderfully, I'm Amber, this is Hazel, and we're the co-founders of PEEQUAL. PEEQUAL makes the UK's first squat and go women's urinal, and we are passionate about bringing equity in areas where women don't have access, especially in sanitation. It is a human right. It is fundamental, and we want this to be a normalized standard facility for all women everywhere. So yeah, we are going to talk a little bit candidly about our stories, some of our stories that have brought us here today, and we're going to touch on prototyping, funding, impact, and who's helped us along the way. But bear with us, it might be a bit chaotic. That's a little bit like us. So yeah, let's go.
Thanks, Amber. Okay, so Amber and I grew up on opposite sides of the country, but weirdly had quite similar childhoods. We were dreamers and schemers. I guess I was building dens, Amber was building go-karts. We met in 2016 at Bristol University. Back again. I was studying physics with innovation, Amber anthropology with innovation. By fourth year, our lecturers were like, you solve a real world problem. And we knew straight away what we wanted to do. We'd spent our university summers working at festivals, in bars, in festival food, and we got stuck relentlessly in those 30-minute toilet queues, and we thought surely there had to be a better way. So we did it as initially a research master's project, but I guess 6 years later, it's got a little bit out of hand.
So let's tell you a few stories about prototyping, because that really is the nitty-gritty of how we got here. Way back at the start of this journey, we did cardboard prototypes, cultural probes with the public, but what was really significant was the first live event we went to, which was at Bristol Comedy Garden. I don't know if anyone's from Bristol, but a fantastic event, and we managed to get so much insight from just speaking to women about this taboo topic. Lots of intrigue, and everyone can relate, but no one really talks about it. So we had loads of data from that event, but one key thing was that we also had an interview with the BBC journalist, and that catapulted us to the front of the BBC for about 3 days and about 3 weeks of media coverage off a very scrappy prototype. This is something that I welded up. Hazel sewed the walls for it. We had no money at the time, so it was all scrappy stuff. I think one of the comments on the articles was, "It looks like a piece of scrap," and it was like, yes, it is, thank you. So what it did give us as a result of that quite embarrassing demonstration was about 30 very interested customers from Japan to the US, to all across Europe, and we were able to go into that investment rooms, mostly men, and say, we have proven demand and we've got loads of credibility with PR. So it was a really big starting point.
Yeah, and we really weren't going to go. We didn't want to show our scrappy prototype, but a female mentor of ours was like, put yourself out there, and we are so glad we did. That experience also enabled us to have our first ever customer be Glastonbury Festival.
Whoop, whoop!
Way back in 2022, Glastonbury was 3 weeks away, but 3 weeks before the show, our manufacturer said the product wouldn't be ready. There was no way we were not going to go, so we ended up building the product ourselves. We roped in mates, we got Amber's stepdad's son's garage, and we created a production line where we created the product out of scaff metal poles. It was insane. We got to Glastonbury, we were on the one show, we had the hundreds of thousands of women using our design. It was honestly a dream come true.
It was mental, wasn't it? I think we paid them in fish and chips and a lot of beer over their weekends. So yeah, we made it happen. And we definitely learned a lot of tenacity during that time. I think we were about 20, 21. And yeah, when you get that no from a manufacturer that you're putting your trust in, you're kind of like, well, who am I to think that, actually, no, I disagree with that. It can be done. So that was a big learning curve for us at that point.
We wouldn't have got where we were today without fundraising. So we have raised in total £1.5 million. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
As well as lots of grants. I want to initially zoom in on the biggest grant, the biggest kind of pocket of money that really changed the dial for us. So grants were in quite a few different places. Our first grant was 200 quid from a university. Then we got a grand, I think, from HSBC. But then we got 10K from another university, not even ours. So there's so many grants out there, that small scale ones that you can access. And this enabled us to build the first working prototype that we could take to customers. I just wanted to bring up this story that there's grants out there that can help take your idea into a small reality before you go get investment.
Absolutely, and I think one of the key things we learned when we had that experience was that people really believe in you, and I think that 10K felt so big to us because we had nothing at the time. And it's the belief that someone thinks, you've got this, you can do this, you've got a good idea, and I want to see it work. We didn't have any sort of large business backgrounds, any family members in that space, so seeing somebody really believe in that gave us the confidence to then step forward. So yeah, we want to pass that confidence on today and continuously through PEEQUAL. More recently, this time last year, we were in a very different financial position. We were doing our third investment raise. If anyone's done that, it's pretty grueling at the moment. The landscape is pretty dry, and it was about a year in the making. So we had about 2 months runway left, which is, if you don't know what runway is, it means that you just don't have any money left after that date. So yeah, we're about to turn the lights off. We had a small team of maybe 4 or 5 people who, you know, we're paying their pensions, they have children, you know, it's a big responsibility. And yeah, we didn't have any money to go. So what happened, what really helped, there was an article released about our story in the Financial Times. And after that point, we managed to hit that target group of investors. We had about 25 investors reach out to us that legitimately wanted to help. And in a matter of maybe 1 month, we closed under £1 million. Just under. Yeah.
We also want to demystify it, that was so juicy. And, you know, on that, it was amazing luck. And we managed to get all those people to come to us. But we really did kiss a lot of toads. Frogs?
Toads or frogs?
Toads or frogs. Said no, laughed out of boardrooms. Less than 2% of private equity funding goes to female founders. Most investors, especially in the early days, laughed us out of the room. We'd try and put it from a male perspective, but still, there's not a big enough market. No, thank you. Now we have over 8 female angel investors on our board. Whoop, whoop. Incredible women.
They're incredible. Yeah, so I guess what does the prototyping and the funding all lead to? So the impact. So over 1 million women have now used PEEQUAL. We're coming up to our 6th-year anniversary. We hear on-site stories all the time of 8-year-old girls saying, I'm going to use the strong girls' toilets, or I want to be a women's urinal director when I grow up. These are real stories. And also, like, people commenting stuff like, oh, they've really thought about the design. There's a handle and a coat hook and la, 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 la. And that has really mattered to us because it's really gratifying to see what you're putting your effort into actually shift people's experience of the world they live in. Literally in seconds, the before and the after is so significant.
Yeah, the most common word we hear is liberating, and it's just the fuel that keeps Amber and I going. As of probably 2 weeks ago, we have now gone global. So we have customers in Japan, Norway, America, Ireland, and inquiries from a global audience. So we are going to help women and girls get out of queues, make their time just as important, and enjoy their lives. We are so unbelievably proud of this journey, but we definitely didn't get here alone. Like Amber said, we're not from backgrounds of design, investment, and so many women, our mums, so many communities have helped us demystify. We've had mentors that explain what is a cap table, what is private equity, and we basically want to give back. So please come to us after this talk. Any questions you have, we want to see the built environment have so many more voices be heard, because if you demystify it, you see it, you can change it. And we were supported. So just thank you so much for this event today.
Yeah, thank you.